In the beginning of the story, we see a 16-year-old boy named Brian. He had a childhood dream of becoming a basketball player. But after a lot of hard work, he was not able to join his school's team, the Eagles. Later, he was given the task of holding the team's players' water bottles. One day, Brian was watching his favorite player Kevin's basketball match. Kevin continuously put the ball in the net and won many points for his team. Seeing this, Brian was very impressed. That day, he promised himself that he would also become a great player like Kevin. After this, Brian got excited and started practicing. He tried to put the ball in the net many times, but he used to fall badly every time. On the other hand, when Kevin was returning after winning the match, a crowd of reporters and fans surrounded him. Then his agent, Alan, released him from the crowd. The next day, Brian was talking to his best friend, Mitch, at school. Then he saw a new girl named Isabel passing by. As soon as he saw her, Brian's heartbeats increased, and he started smiling like crazy. Then Isabel also smiled at him. Later, even during lunch, he was looking at Isabel. Mitch told him not to be crazy about Isabel because the whole school thinks he is a loser. Then Brian said that she is new, she doesn't know, that's why he decided to talk to Isabel as soon as possible. Then a naughty boy named Connor played a video on the cafeteria TV. In that video, Brian was trying to jump like Kevin with the help of a trampoline, but he went straight and got stuck in the net. Seeing this, all the kids started laughing at Brian's joke, which made Brian very embarrassed. He quietly left from there, and Isabel felt very bad for him. Later, when Brian was sitting at home, his father came there and gave him 2 tickets to a basketball match as a gift. As soon as Brian saw it, he danced happily. Soon, Brian went to watch the match with his father. Brian was very happy to see his favorite player, Kevin, playing in a great way. Then, during the break, the host announced that one of the spectators would get a chance to hit a basketball shot. Soon, Vegeta's name came up, and he was none other than Brian's father. But like every father, instead of fulfilling his dream, he gave his son the ticket and sent him ahead. When Brian reached the court, the host said that if he was successful in hitting the shot, he would get a reward of $20,000. Then Brian saw that the same boy, Connor, in the audience was ready to take his camera and make a video of him. Anyway, Brian threw the ball, but instead of going to the target, it hit the team's mascot present there. Poor Brian was returning from there, embarrassed, when suddenly he met Kevin. Kevin encouraged him and autographed his name on a ball as a gift. Brian was not able to control his happiness upon seeing his favorite player. He said that he wished he had the same talent as Kevin. Then Kevin said, "Hard work also defeats talent." Saying this, he gave Brian a basketball, and suddenly, an energy came out of it and went into Brian. The next morning, when Brian woke up, he heard on the radio that Kevin played very badly after the break yesterday, because of which his team also lost. Hearing this, Brian was a little sad, but he got ready and went to school. In the evening, Brian and Mitch went to a fair where Connor and Isabel were also present. Connor was trying to win a big teddy for Isabel by putting the ball in the corner net, but even after trying many times, he was unsuccessful. Seeing this, Brian and Mitch started laughing loudly. Connor got angry and caught Brian's ball, saying, "You show it first." Brian thought he would be humiliated, but as soon as he threw the ball, it went straight to the target. Seeing this, everyone went crazy. They thought he must have gotten lucky. But then Brian repeatedly hit the shot and surprised everyone. Connor left from there in anger, and Brian won the teddy bear and gave it to Isabel. Then they shook hands and started going to the fair together. Kevin was practicing basketball there, but he was having a lot of trouble hitting the shot. He and Alan were both worried because Kevin had a very bad defeat in the last match. Anyway, Alan explained to him that this happens to everyone. On the other hand, Brian was practicing at home. He saw that his ability had increased a lot overnight. The next day, Brian wore a basketball jersey to school and reached the court. The coach said, "You've already caught the rest of the kids, so why are you wearing a jersey?" Brian said that he also wants to be a part of the team. At first, the coach refused him, but when Brian started begging again and again, the coach gave him a chance to prove himself. Brian's competition happened with Connor, who was the captain of the team. Brian was hitting the shot so easily that everyone was blown away. Everyone was wondering what he had eaten. Then the coach himself competed with him, but Brian defeated him too. Happy with his ability, the coach finally included him in the team. In the next few days, Brian played many matches against other school teams and won for his team. Soon, he became famous in the school, and everyone started trying to be his friend. Brian also got closer to Isabel, and both fell in love. On the other hand, Kevin's game was getting worse day by day, due to which he was getting a lot of criticism in the media. Alan tried a lot to help Kevin. He even called Kevin's mother, hoping she could motivate him, but unfortunately, there was no use. Then one day, Kevin went to shoot an ad for basketball shoes, but he couldn't even run with the ball. He tried to get the right take for many hours, but he was unsuccessful. Finally, the director got tired and removed him from the ad. Later, Alan was watching Kevin's downfall on TV, so he changed the channel. Then Brian's news came on. Seeing his ability, people were calling him the next Kevin Durant. Then Alan remembered that this boy had not even been able to put the ball in the net 4 weeks ago. It's a long story, he had thrown the ball 4 kilometers away. Then he watched Brian's match videos and realized that Brian played like Kevin. This made Alan wonder if Kevin and Brian's powers had changed. He told Kevin about it. He said that earlier, Brian used to carry water bottles, and now he has become the best player in the junior tournament. But Kevin didn't believe him and thought Alan had gone crazy. Anyway, the next day, Alan took Kevin to Brian's school and introduced him to Brian. He forcibly brought them together so that he could help Kevin get his skills back. Alan asked them to spend the whole day together because they were both great basketball players. Brian and Kevin talked a lot and ate together. Despite being together all day, their powers did not change, which made Alan very upset. Now, Brian had developed an ego. He kept throwing the ball into the basket alone without passing it to anyone. Although his team won because of him, his friends were very upset because basketball is a team game. On the other hand, Kevin was also playing a match where he couldn't make a single shot. All the spectators and media started insulting him because they had never seen anyone play so badly. In the evening, Brian held a party to celebrate his victory, to which many children were invited. But Isabel didn't like it at all. Brian was no longer that cute, sweet boy like before. She told Brian that he should go alone and talk, but Brian didn't want to leave his new cool friends. Because of this, Isabel got upset and left. Soon, Alan reached the party and talked to Brian. Alan told him that his and Kevin's powers had changed. Brian didn't believe him at all. So Alan asked him, "How did you become a superstar player overnight? Tell me, were you practicing in your sleep?" Alan told him to return Kevin's skills, but Brian said, "Look, I didn't do anything knowingly. Whatever has come, has come. I'm not giving it back." But before leaving, Alan told him that it is not right to misuse someone else's skills and deceive everyone. The next day, the coach gathered the Eagles team in the school and said that now they were just one match away from becoming champions. Hearing this, everyone got up happily. Later, when Brian was going on his cycle, he saw Kevin's poster. He felt bad for Kevin because he was playing very badly, and now everyone had started hating him. Then Brian decided he would return Kevin his skills. He called Alan and told him about it. After this, the two reached the court where Kevin was practicing. Brian and Alan said, "Brother, take your power back." But Kevin was not ready to agree to such a thing. But when Brian showed his skills, especially Kevin's signature move, which only Kevin used to do, then Kevin was a little surprised. After this, they tried a lot to exchange their skills. Kevin grabbed the same ball and said the same words, but still, nothing happened. This made all three of them very upset. Later, Brian went to Isabel's house and apologized to her. Although she was still angry, she forgave Brian and called him inside. Then Brian told her the whole story of the exchange of powers with Kevin, which Isabel did not believe. Then Brian showed her the video of the day when all this happened. As soon as she saw that the ball had hit the mascot, Brian's brain lit up and he ran away. He went straight to the basketball court where Kevin was playing a match. He saw that Kevin's team score was still 0. Then Brian quickly entered there and told Kevin that he had found a way to return Kevin's powers. He said that first, the ball will hit their mascot because this had happened that day too. After this, he hit the mascot and dropped it. Then they both held the ball, and Kevin said, "I wish I had a skill like Brian." Then Brian said, "Hard work also defeats skill." Suddenly, an energy came out of Brian and went into Kevin, which meant that their plan was successful. The game started again, and Kevin began playing in a great way. He hit one shot after another, which left all the spectators stunned. Finally, the team won because of him, which made Brian very happy. The next day was Brian's final match too, but he knew that this time, he would not be able to play well. When the match started, he started falling like before, which made his coach worried. Then Kevin and Alan came there, which made Brian more nervous. But then he remembered Kevin's words, "Hard work also defeats skill." Then Brian gathered his teammates and said that he was not playing well today, so now all of them would have to play together. Seeing each other's ability, they made their plan and got into the game with enthusiasm. Soon, Brian's team made a good score. But in the last 10 seconds, they needed 2 points, and the ball now came to Brian. Then he threw the ball and tried to get 3 points. Fortunately, the ball went straight into the basket. Finally, they won the match because of Brian's points. Then everyone picked up Brian on their shoulders, and Kevin said goodbye to Brian and left.